Hey guys, Leah with Family Heritage Living. This is Saturday, and I think it's the 10th of April. Beautiful day here today. We are going to be nearing 50. Freezing last night, freezing all day yesterday, oh my word. Sap is already flowing beautifully. Guys have been out collecting sap. We're getting ready to have church. We've been doing church services on Saturday. No, we're not Seventh-day Adventists. Our church services will fluctuate depending on the time of year, depending on what's going on. So today we're getting ready for that. I came out to check my laundry. It's been drying since Wednesday. Oh, let's see, no. It's been drying since Thursday, so Simeon got sick Wednesday night. And we washed everything Thursday. So get it dried because guess what? Starting tomorrow night, Monday, we have a blizzard coming in to our area. Up to 18 inches of snow. Now I'm just starting to see a lot of ground around here and nobody's real thrilled about seeing more snow right now. We've had a really mild accumulation this year. I think it's been 276 inches. Hey Josiah! How many inches of snow this year? 270. What was it last year? 317 last year, 270 this year. So I knew it was too soon to trust it. It's got to make up for it. Okay, so checking out the blankets. They are drying, almost dry. Yay. Simmy's baby blanket. He loves this thing. I want to show you the ground. It's incredible to see ground here so much right now. I had a dream last night that we had less snow than this, and I got up to hear about all the snow we're supposed to get. We got like an 81% chance of getting 12 inches, and I can't remember how much of a percentage for getting 18 inches, but just too much. We haven't even started seeds yet, which is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get some greens growing today because we aren't going to the store, so we're really missing out on our veg. Fresh veg, that is, as well as our fresh fruits. Oh, I gotta tell you, I have an addiction. And I've had to curb it since this whole coronavirus thing has been going on. Sorry, I just got through washing my hair. I'm addicted to fruit smoothies. I'm like addicted. And in fact, for a while there, that's what I was living on. I know they're high carbs, but I could drink, they're so filling. They're so filling. And I could drink 2 or 3 a day. And I wouldn't need to eat rest of the day. And then I had to quit my smoothie addiction in February. And that's when I started having trouble with my gallbladder again. It just couldn't take what I was putting into my body. So I can't wait to be able to go back to my smoothies. All right, well, I hope everybody's doing well your way. I'm going to try to I got to get granola made. We're making pancakes with kamut, which is fresh ground wheat. Kamut's an ancient grain, and a lot of reason people have trouble with grains today is because they've been changed so much and our body can't process them. Another thing is they're not soaked like they should be, and you can soak your pancake batter overnight, just let it set, and it does its job and it gets out the folic acid that is really hard for our body to process. So we're going to have homemade maple syrup over it. So that's what the eats is for today, but I'm going to get in there and try to get that chocolate granola video done that I was talking about yesterday. All right, guys, I am in my kitchen ready to make the chocolate granola that I have been telling you all about. I don't have my cameraman here today. He usually helps me with the cooking videos because it's a lot easier having an extra set of hands and moving the camera around than just keeping the camera stabilized. The other thing is, I gotta tell you, Most part, our videos are just vlogs. You know, most of you that watch know that I get chatty and then I share a little information and I get a little more chattier and stuff. But you know, we live in a day and age where everybody wants it and they want it now. And on the videos that I only label cooking, I guess I've come under the guise of being misinformed that, you know, if you're in your kitchen and you're visiting with a friend, that's what I like to do. I like to visit. I've spent the majority of my adult life in the kitchen. And that's where my family gathers around. We talk, we visit. I have friends, you know, that would gather around, talk and visit and stuff. It's the place to talk and visit. And when I cook, I want to talk and visit. And I also want to share my experiences. If I'm sharing something, a recipe with somebody, I want to tell you what I've either learned negatively or positively. And so I get a lot of comments on just the food titled videos that, you know, quit talking, get at it, get the job done. Well, if that's what you're wanting, you're on the wrong channel here. So, because I do get gabby, and I will just share my experiences, and it'll just be like a down-home chat. So, all right, so the chocolate granola is really easy. There's a lot of different granola recipes out there, and you can accommodate them to fit your needs. And that's pretty much what I've done for our family. And this chocolate granola recipe, the thing that I think is important right now is because so many people find themselves, the old phrase, with their pantry down, all right? I mean, that's a bad place to be found. So some of the things I've modified in here because it's what I've had on hand, and you too can modify it. And I will try to give you ideas of what possibly can be modified as I go through this, but it's real simple. I do use a whole oat in my granola, and if you don't know what the difference is, when you buy granola in the grocery store, it will either say whole rolled, it might even say something along the lines like thick or extra thick oats. And what the difference between that and the other oat is called a quick oat, and that is chopped 3 times and compared to this left whole. This will make a nice, firm granola. The other one clumps up. If you mix the two together, it's not too bad, but just use the quick oats. You're not going to like the end product. So we've got granola. We have got baking cocoa, unsweetened baking cocoa. Okay. I'm going to use a little salt. And I'll put all the measurements below. This is a big batch, so I don't have to make it tomorrow again. So you just, before I put any liquids in, I kind of mix it all together. Now you can add, you could add coconut flakes if you wanted to this. You could put some almonds in it if you wanted, any type of nut you like. Again, my thing here right now is just basics. I feel that's really important in the situation so many are in. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to keep stirring this and tell you what the next thing I'm going to add is going to be, I'm going to add oil. Now you can either use butter, you can use coconut oil. In this instance, I've used an organic vegetable oil. I keep that on hand for such a time as this if I can't get butter. Butter is our primary cooking source. And I don't fry in butter too often. I will once in a while. I don't do a lot of fried foods to begin with, but I do like to have shortening on hand. And I find I'm using it more right now as I'm trying to stretch my butter out. So part of my liquid is going to be the oil. And the sweetener that I'm going to use is I'm going to use it's a milk in a milk jug, but it's my maple syrup. Now you can use sugar, and if you use sugar, you have to include more liquid, and I'll get to that in a minute, but this is part of your liquid, using it in this form of the recipe. So this actually calls for quite a bit of maple syrup, and like I said, I'll put the recipe down, and if you end up using sugar, just replace the amount of maple syrup with water. You do not want your granola to be drowned. All right, it's important that you don't get it soaking wet. I'm going to stop and stir this a little bit while I do this. In this recipe, all right. If you make regular granola and you pre-soak, that's a little different. But in this recipe, you don't want too much liquid because You don't want to cook this. You want to cook it till it's dry, but not till it's burnt, obviously, with the chocolate. Ron likes a really dark granola, and it's easy to do with the batches that aren't cocoa. But when they have cocoa in it, I find I'm just better to keep it a little drier. All right, you really got to work this. You got to dig down deep in your mixing bowl. Sometimes what I use is a stainless steel pan, so a flat bottom, and it makes it easier to stir this up. Now, again, you don't want that super wet. If I have to feel it, and if it's sticky, the majority of it's sticky, I call that good. And make sure you do feel it, because you're going to look at that and go, well, that still looks dry, and it's not. It's sticky. So that's exactly what. All right. So what I've done is I've layered it on a cookie sheet, and I've done a fairly thin layer. It doesn't have to be super thin, but you want it to be able to cook evenly. And I'm going to put it in my oven. For you guys, you'll do about 350, maybe 375. Work with it a little bit. And you will check it every 5, max 10 minutes. And then what I will do as it's cooking is I'll come in and I'll either shake my pan, or I'll go ahead and I'll stir this up. And then I'll rotate my pan. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, so this is the finished product. You can hear the crunch. And this is the uncooked product. This is cocoa for chocolate granola, right? Mm-hmm. Cocoa for chocolate granola. See, look, it even turns the milk chocolatey. It does. All right, so that's what I have for you guys today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. Check to make sure you're still subscribed, even if you have been, because sometimes you get unsubscribed here on YouTube. What else do I need you to do? Let's see. Give me a thumbs up, like, share this video if you liked it, and we will see you guys next time. God bless.